Hey guys, it's me, Nalthazar, and welcome to another episode of Achieving Perfection. This one is going to be on a World Reborn. This particular video is going to be Node 1, so per the usual, I'm going to really quickly go ahead, show the decks in case you just want to copy-paste them, and then I'll get into explanations. So if you're newer, for the first node, this is the node where you need to summon knights, I'd go ahead and use Gideon. This is something like what I would use. If you have a little bit more cards at your disposal, you've got some dual color walkers. Nahiri is a really fun choice here, and I would go with something like this. The red is going to enable Apex of Power. If you don't want to use Nahiri, you want to throw some blue in, Teferi is an excellent choice, and I'll be getting into why I think Teferi is such an excellent choice for this node, but this is what I'd go with. And then finally, and this is probably the one that I'm going to use, is Vraska. You might be surprised, but this is what the deck is. So if you want to take any of those, go ahead, take them. And let's get into the nitty gritty. So first things first. New Benalia. So in New Benalia, you need to win the fight, summon 4 or more knights or angels, and lose 3 or fewer creatures. So for summon, they can be tokens, and you can use cheat onto the battlefield effects, which is great. And then the lose 3 or less creatures, all right, it's not too bad. If you are working with slightly less powerful cards, you do have to worry a little bit about that lose 3 or less creatures, because New Benalia is going to be getting a bunch of knights with vigilance and first strike down. So you have to be a little bit careful about them. Now, as to what it's going to be doing with 9 loyalty, it's going to make 2/2/2 tokens that have first strike. And then in the deck, there's a bunch of stuff that is actually kind of strong. So this is a node that can sort of creep up on you and take a point when you don't expect it to every so often. So it's good to be careful. Now, one thing that I want to throw in about PvE events, for newer players, it's really intimidating, and it kind of feels like, why would I try and fight against like a level 135 Planeswalker or something like that? But really, it's not so bad once you get used to the play, because you just need to establish control of the game. So anyways, these are our objectives for the summon and the lose. Let's get into what I would do about that. So let's start with Gideon up on top. Now, if you don't have a large collection, you don't have a lot of things to choose from, just go ahead and load a deck with angels and knights and control, and you'll be fine, honestly. So you could even run a deck with like 5, 6, 7 angels and knights and just a few control pieces, and you'll be fine. You'll achieve your objectives, and most of the time you'll be good. What I'm going with here is Call the Cavalry is really nice. This makes 2 tokens, so that achieves half of the objective right there. And it's 7 for what turns into a 4/4. I'm sorry, I tried to tap on the knight. So you're basically using the first ability of Benalia, but casting it as a spell. You've also got Dauntless Bodyguard. I think this one's really good for the node if you don't have a lot of cards at your disposal, because it's going to give your first other creature prevent damage. And that's really nice, because if the opponent has got these first strike vigilance things, it makes it so that your first creature can hopefully take the hit and kill them without losing that creature. Knight of Autumn, I really like this card. It can come out pretty powerful. It can destroy a support, which is really good because the deck is running 2 pesky supports. So the Saga and then Sarah's Angel. No, Sarah's Angel. the Sarah's Wings card, the +2/+2 flying vigilance lifelink. So this gets rid of that, which is nice. And then True Fire Captain is just a nasty beast. Herald of Faith is just a really low cost angel, which is pretty nice. And then to round it out, I've got Control. So for you, you're going to put in whatever control pieces you have. Conclave Tribunal is an uncommon, Justice Strike is an uncommon, Gideon's Triumph is uncommon. So I'd go ahead, use those, and then use some gem converters. So Dragon's Horde is an event reward, so hopefully you have this card, which is why I put a mythic in here. And Gateway Plaza is just a nice option for monocolor conversion. So in summary, go ahead, throw in whatever knights you have. If you don't have a lot of cards to choose from, you can't make any of the other decks that I'm showing or some version of them, then just put a bunch of knights and angels together and a bunch of control and you'll be fine, honestly. So, all right, Gideon. Next up is Nahiri. Nahiri is really fun. I love Nahiri. I did a Planeswalker showcase on Nahiri, and so let's get into the nitty-gritty. You need 4 angels or knights. So History of Benalia is going to create 2 tokens twice, and so if you play History of Benalia, you have automatically completed your knight objective. So that's fantastic. And then it just gives all your knights 2/1 and first strike, which is especially nice if you're using this, because the flip side is 8 to get 3/2/2 vigilance. There we go. So then it gives them the boost over here, this an additional 2/1 and first strike, so it makes them much better blockers. The Decree of Justice, if you have it, this automatically achieves the objective if you charge it up, which is great. Same goes for Finale of Glory. You charge it up and it automatically completes the objective, which is fantastic. I did throw in Lyra because I wanted to give those angel tokens first strike, just in case, against all of the knights, so hopefully they don't die. Remember, you don't want to lose 3 creatures. Razia is an angel, it blocks things, it's amazing, it kills everything, and is a savage beast. Apex of Power, this is going to give you card advantage. Very, very good card advantage, so definitely worth it. Luminarch Ascension is going to by itself complete the objective if you play it right. You need to be really careful with this one though. Make sure you have another angel or knight to put out, because when you first have this thing going off, you might wind up killing your opponent before you activate all of the gems. So just be careful if you're using that. And that's actually directly why, if you're using Luminarch, throw in Fall of Thran. It's going to activate all of the Luminarch tokens or gems, and you'll be gravy. And Memorial to Glory is just going to help you convert to white so that you get to those gems. Now, if you really need, I'm going to go ahead and pull up her abilities. You can use Lithomancy, that does destroy white gems, and it's going to be more than likely to destroy the Luminarch Ascension gems. So if you run something like this, you'll probably do just fine. Teferi is definitely going to be the better choice here, and I actually think that Teferi is better than Tamiyo. I think that Teferi is better than Tamiyo for this because of Spiraling Time. So the new Benalia is going to be making a bunch of tokens, and so you can just keep saving that +1/+1, that Spiraling Time ability, and destroy the tokens. So it gets rid of the nasty things that your opponent is going to be playing. Now, the general core of this is very similar to Nahiri. So History of Benalia, it automatically completes the objective. Lyra giving the Finale of Glory first strike and lifelink, and Decree of Justice lifelink, but Decree of Justice and Finale will both complete the objective. But this gives us more card draw. So it gives us Blue Sun, which is busted, and Finale of Revelation, which is also actually pretty fantastic. So we get a lot of card draw. We get some really useful removal in the form of a combination of Isolate, which will auto-play from a Blue Sun, and River's Rebuke, which will get rid of all of your opponent's pesky supports in addition to their creatures. So this is really useful. Finally, to round out the deck, we want to be converting to blue. So we've got Memorial to Genius. This is going to convert to blue, and if it gets destroyed, it draws cards. So card advantage, that's a big win. And Hallowed Fountain is going to convert to either of Teferi's colors. So if you go with this, you're pretty much going to be guaranteed to get perfect. Just make sure that you sit on some card draw until you get History of Benalia, Decree of Justice, Finale of Glory, get them down, kill the opponent, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Now, I'm saying blue because Finale of Revelation is going to be increasing your mana gain, and then Teferi's biggest mana gain is blue anyways, so big win. Now, at the beginning of the video, I said that I was going to be playing Vraska. I've done some testing with this, and I absolutely love the deck. Because you only need to summon the knights, the Josu zombie tokens are, ding ding, zombie knights. So those are knights. And if you get one Josu Vest down, that's 6 tokens. And in addition to Josu himself, that's 18 menace damage. So those vigilant creatures that'll be coming down won't be able to block them. So you really don't have to worry about losing Josu or the tokens. And because it's summon, you can use all the busted green versions of get this card out for really cheap or free. So that's why you'll see that I'm using Summoner's Pact, I'm using Finale of Devastation, I'm using Chord of Calling, and I'm using Killer Instinct, because any of them are going to get me Josu and tokens and win, right? Immediately. Now, Josu does require black gems, so there need to be 7 or more black gems. So if you're going to play this deck, make sure that you have the black gems before using something like Summoner's Pact, Finale of Devastation, Chord of Calling, or just hardcasting Josu himself. Now you'll see that for supports, I've chosen Memorial of Folly, which is going to convert to black, and Woodland Cemetery, which is going to prioritize converting to black. So both of those are going to be big wins for you. And then finally, to round things out, remember, I really like card advantage and control. So Nissa's Revelation to draw cards, recoup some life just in the event you need it, unlikely. Bolas the Dragon God, so this one was from Fiblethip, and this one is going to let us draw cards, which is great, fantastic, amazing. And finally, Plague Wind to just kill everything your opponent brings out. Now, if you want to swap Plague Wind with something like Death Sprout so that you're more likely to get out your supports, so that you can confirm more black gems will be down, that's a perfectly good option. But yeah, I would definitely go ahead and run this if you want to just have some fun and have a deck that works really well and kills really quickly. So in short, I think that this one is pretty darn good. I think that Teferi is your best choice. I'm going with Vraska because I have more fun with it and I want to have some fun. So I hope this all helps you. I hope this helps you achieve perfection, and good luck in the event. I hope to see you next one.